So for you who is not married, who is always saying, I don't need to say marriage, they fear me. Are we going to get married like this? Is this a marriage? Marriage is overrated though. This and that. Now this video is for you. Hi, and welcome back to Conversations with Debbie. It's been a while, guys, and I've missed you all. But life happens, and a girl just has to take a break. Tell me about being a mom, a wife, having a full-time job in Lagos, and of all jobs, working in a law firm in Lagos. It's been a lot. It can be a lot in time. So I needed to rest. Life happens, but I'm here now and I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you for watching my videos, always subscribing. I love you all with a very deep love. Thank you. So welcome to today's episode. We're still in the love season. So we're going to talk about love, okay? Okay, we're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about something related to love, and that is what, we're going to talk about the foundation for a successful marriage. I mean, the essentials, okay? And I'm no relationship expert. I don't claim to be. I not just know that I've just learned some things, in the course of my life and from my own experiences, other people's experiences. And these are the things I've implemented in my life and it worked for me. So, and on this channel, we don't gatekeep information. We just talk about things, life, God, marriage, everything. So I said, let me share, something I've learned about foundation of a successful marriage. Okay. I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be, but here are things I've seen and I've implemented and other people have implemented. And I think this is the key. So how there's a lot of divorce nowadays, divorce is on the rise and, marriages are not happy. People are staying in marriages, but they're enduring it. And you just ask yourself, why is that? Okay, so that's what this video is about. I've realized that actually a happy home, a successful marriage, whatever it is, happens long before you get married to that person. And the secret is usually in the choice of person that you choose to get married to. And the choice of person you choose as a partner actually has a lot to do with more of you, yourself, your understanding about yourself, how you see yourself, and what you think you want out of life. Now, this happens whether you know this consciously or unconsciously. And that is why I am making this video today. The thing is that a lot of times I have come to the conclusion, the realization, upon self-introspection and looking around people, observing people and just reflecting generally, I've realized that people don't usually, a lot of the time, they don't usually have their head in the right space whilst choosing a partner. And then when they get into the marriage and things that should naturally happen or occur when you choose a certain type of partner, or when you choose a partner with with one kind of intention that you had, when the things that naturally happen that come from as a result of that decision, when they begin to happen, they begin to ask, why me? And then they begin to look around to other people and say, why am I not like them? Why are they better than me? Why is it good for them and why is it bad for me? So for you who is not married, who is always saying, I don't need to say marriage, they fear me. Are we going to get married like this? Is this a marriage? Marriage is overrated though. This and that. Now this video is for you. I will start by saying that marriage is not overrated. Marriage is actually good. God, who created marriage, knew what he was doing. And there are some experiences that are better experienced than, being told. It's better for you to experience it than for you to be told about, because you will never understand. And because of the fact that the institution of marriage itself is unique for every couple, even the good marriages are not experienced alike. What is good is subjective. Is objective rather, I beg to say. Is objective. It really depends on the person, what is good for them, okay? So marriage is not the same for everybody. But I'll tell you that the maker and the creator of marriage knew what he was doing when he said, it is not good for a man to be alone, and then created the institution of marriage. But the problem is how you go about it. So that you cannot plant apple and expect to reap yam, because now, the time you were planting apple, it was apple that you wanted. Now it's time for harvest, and your neighbor is harvesting tubers of yam, and you're complaining like, why is my own not coming out as yam now? You don't will things to happen. You're always intentional about it. And the most important decision you should be very intentional about, because it can affect a lot of things in your life, is marriage. Okay, having dropped that foundation, what is now the right headspace? What should I be thinking about when choosing a partner? Well, I will start from saying that a lot of times we are very concerned about superficial things. We are very concerned about things that can be managed. We are very concerned about things that, it doesn't alter destiny. It doesn't alter anything in the long run. It can either be learned, it can either be patched, it can, do you get the point? Do you get my point? We are very concerned about those ones. We want a man from a certain tribe. We want a man that attends a certain church. We want a woman from a certain local government. We want a woman of a certain height. We want a woman of a certain species. And these things are important too. They are important too, but they are not as important. And they are not the first things to put. Okay? And when you begin to put those ones first, and sometimes the reasons for getting married is not even that, oh, I want someone that works here. I want this. I want that. Oh, I've already set my mind that I must marry a businessman. So this one that is coming now is not a businessman. I don't want him. Those are superficial things. Those are not correct things. Those are not the most important things to put. Most times, that's where we have our eyes on. We want a woman that has a certain physique. It's not that being attracted to who you marry is not important. Attraction is important. It's actually very important. But there are some things that can be managed. So the problem is, and when I say manage, I don't mean it like I just the manager. I mean like there's a way to work around these things, and you begin to enjoy them. Okay? So the problem is now that we always want to manage the things that we're not supposed to manage, and we don't want to manage the things that we can manage. So that brings me to my main point in this conversation. Tell me about where your head should be. Your head should be on things like values. At the core of it, do you guys share the same values in life? Who is this person? As a person, who are you? What are their core beliefs about themselves, and what are their core beliefs about life? Do you agree with that? What are their values and beliefs about money? What's their ideology about investment? About what do they think about future? Do they have future plans? What does their future look like? What is it? And this sounds like serious questions, and they should be, because marriage is a very serious business. You mess around and you find out very quickly. that you don't just marry anybody. If you do that, you're going to be crying for a very long time. I mean, there is nothing God cannot do. There is no situation that cannot be fixed. But I mean, you would have saved yourself a lot of headache if you had at least asked the most important questions, vetted this person before marrying them. And then when we talk about values, it's a very wide, and this conversation cannot be had in one video, of course. And maybe upon request, if you guys want me to, I could actually do a series on this topic. But so because when we talk about values about life, it's a very wide broad thing. But I'm going to guys say, what does this person think about loyalty? What does this person think about family? What is their idea of a nuclear family? What do they understand by boundaries? What is their vision for their family, the family that they are raising? And you need to understand this. You don't ask, and the mistake people ask is asking them. When you ask them, it's not all this, you don't ask them all these questions. A lot of times it's better to find out. It's better to know from observation. Who is this person? That is how you select. Because people can tell you anything. If you are fine, you're handsome, you're rich, you have what they're looking for, they can tell you anything to get into your house, to get into your life. And by the time they come in, then they settle and they begin to show you who they are. Okay, so these are things that you observe, and that is why I belong to the school of thought where, I mean, you should date people for a while. You should cut them. You should take your time to find out who is this person, not just having conversations, because you'll be lucky to get an honest person, right? You'll be lucky to get somebody that when you ask them, is this in A, is it B? They will tell you it's A. And years down the line, you'll find out that A, they said is A. They didn't tell you A whilst they meant B because they wanted you to come in. You'd be very lucky. But then if you've had time to be with this person for a while, you will observe this. These things will come up naturally. You will find out by yourself that this is who this person is. At least if you decide to go ahead, then you were well informed, you were armed, you were ready, you were prepared to deal with this person the way they are. Right? So you need to understand what is their vision for their family. And then you need to ask yourself, does it look like what I want? And you need to be very honest with yourself. Does it look like, because a lot of things that make people, drift apart in marriage are things that they should have found out, they should have talked about, they should have discussed, or they should have observed in the course of courtship. I'm not saying that, I also think that people should use the time that another person will use to get into university, graduate, get a job, in fact, resign from the job, go for a master's degree, come out and then get a PhD and graduate to date somebody before you are sure and before you ascertain that you know this person well enough to marry. No, it must not be here and there. But giving some time to understand who you're getting married to, it's for yourself. Okay? It's really for yourself. It's really to tick those boxes. And then, like I said, it starts from you. It starts from how well you know yourself. Do you even know yourself? If you don't know what is most important to you in life, if you don't know what are your deal breakers, if you don't know what makes you happy, what ticks for you, what is the vision for your family? When you have a family, what does it look like in your head? What do you want your children to, what values do you want your children to be raised by? What is it? What matters most to you in life? What do you understand about, spending habits? What kind of person can you not live with? What's going to irritate you? What if you don't know yourself? How will you know what to look for in the person that is asking to marry you or the person you're seeing to marry? How will you know that? You wouldn't know that, of course. So you need to find the time before you rush to marry anybody to know yourself. Because I'm telling you, there is no award for who got married first. And there is no award for marrying in your 20s, marrying in your 30s. And let me tell you, the time you get married does not mean, it doesn't determine whether I see people saying, and it's not like I didn't rush to get married. Because you got married in your 30s does not mean you waited though. And because you were in a relationship with somebody for 6 years does not mean that you vetted them properly before you married them. It does not mean you were checking what you were supposed to check. Okay? So see my point. My point in all of this is that when you're with somebody and now you know the intention is marriage and the end goal is marriage, take the time to do the due diligence. Take the time to find out what is the most important thing. Who is this person really? Are they who they say they are? And if you need 1 year to do that, then take 1 year. If you know you need 2 years or you are not sure yet, don't proceed. Don't be pressured to say I do. Don't be pressured to wear wedding gown. Don't be pressured to wear double ring. Don't be pressured to wear suit. Don't be pressured to say, hey, I finally brought the person that you people have been studying. Hey, but yeah, take wife. Don't be pressured. People talk, the same people will laugh when you are miserable in that marriage. The same people will be looking to see what is wrong with that marriage so they can comment. So, and at the end of the day, if people or not or no, people talk, people don't talk, it doesn't even really matter. You want to be where you are happy. You want to be happy. You don't want to be in a place where you are pretending and keeping face for people so that nobody will laugh at you. But deep down, you're dying. Okay? So, have your head in the right space. Be looking out for the right things. There are other things as well that you should check. You should check your genotype compatibility. You should check your emotional compatibility. There are some people that don't mind certain behaviors, right? There are some people that don't mind. But you need to know what you mind and what you don't mind. You need to know what is acceptable for you and what is not acceptable. At the end of the day, this is where your headspace should be. Does this person share the vision that I share for my life? Our life's vision is similar. Marriage is more seamless, it's more smooth, it's smoother, it's easier when your goals are aligned, when your visions are aligned. It's a bond that is stronger than sexual attraction. Sexual attraction is great. Like I said, this topic cannot be consumed in one video, else we're going to sit here all the whole day. But sexual attraction is great. But in the tier of importance, in the level of priorities, these things, where someone is from, what is it called? Their level of richness. Money is good though. Please don't get me wrong. I hope I've not said money is not good. Money is very, 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 very important. But the level of richness is not important. Yeah, you must not marry the richest person that comes to you. It's good enough that you live a comfortable life, that you are not lacking anything, that you have access to the most basic comforts as long as you guys share the same values in life. It is not a competition to marry the richest man and be doing competition of whose Bentley is finer than Aha. So let's know that money is good. Money is very good. But the richest suitor on your list shouldn't be the most important things you're checking out for. If you know you don't want to, for instance, these things are very subjective. I mean, it's very objective. It really depends on the person, right? If you, for instance, know that you don't want your child growing up around certain people, and you know that this is the kind of company this person keeps, and certainly they are going to be around your children. You have no business marrying the person because the person is very rich. You're not going to be able to manage that. When the time will come, you will be very, very uncomfortable and you will live in regret. Do you get my point? So, when seeking, as we're in the period of love, the season of love, giving out love, doing tapping and untapping, God winning and God how and God soon, or am I a scissors, am I a slippers? Remember that you shouldn't now use desperation to take the most, looks like a good person. You don't feel that it looks like a good person to marry somebody. Make sure it is good for you. The person might be good, but might not be good for you. Make sure that you have your head in the right space and you're not looking at things that can be managed. If you like my video, remember to click the like button, share, and subscribe if you're yet to. Until I come your way next time. Bye.